Mr. Falls like, ugh, yeah, I'm sorry.
I want to say thanks, you're real good. You really hooked me up.
Thanks, we're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime.
Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we've got to get past.
Obstacle?
Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway?
I have no idea. Motive, huh?
Anyway, we're still badly in need of information.
Information, right.
What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing.
What is it?
Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie.
Mr. Falls, in that case, tell us more about it. I keep saying falls. Is it like fowls? Follies? I don't know. I think it's falls. About what happened 5 years ago. Yeah, what happened?
Okay, I trust you. That day, 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. This picture, it reminds me of everything. Bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart any minute.
So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years.
Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute. It's true, I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Yeah, okay, so there you go. We have the name now. I mean, we know, but like the characters didn't know yet. Your girlfriend, huh? You have a girlfriend?
Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne?
The victim's last name? Yeah, we drew that conclusion before.
Dahlia Hawthorne, Valerie's little sister.
Okay, so it's confirmed they're sisters. What? Are you serious?
The girl,
let her go. Is a flashback. Let her go. Let the girl go. Or whatever.
Shut up. Come closer and I kill her.
I guess that's the prisoner. That's Mr. Falls. Sorry, but you're not gonna get the chance. And that's Valerie. Oh, he has a knife too. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. At first I thought shooting someone for kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it.
Wrong. No protect sister. Valerie betrayed me. Betray us.
What do you mean she betrayed you?
Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping too.
Make-believe kidnapping?
Dahlia, my girlfriend, my love, my teen angel.
How old are you? You're 25. Okay. She's 19. Well, I mean, still a little bit older, but it's not too old, I guess. How old was she back then? 5 years ago? Let me do the math. See, supposedly she would be like 14, and he'd be like 20. It's not. Technically, it's not okay. Legally speaking, anyway. Anyway.
My love, my teen angel.
Did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen too many soap operas.
I do anything she says, anything Dahlia says.
Anything Dahlia says? Well, hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by...
Yeah, me and Dahlia, and Valerie too.
Valerie was in on it?
Dahlia's family rich, jewelry business. We get one jewel, that's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note, we sent to her dad. Ask for $2 million diamond, tell him make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer cause she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright. In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman... That woman, Valerie, she do it for real! She shoot at me for real! Me and Dahlia! I was shot in the arm. Dahlia, she jumped in the river.
She did? Jump? You know you just jumped on purpose, do you? Dahlia Hawthorne. I guess she's dead? In that case? That's weird.
I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over. And that's when they decide to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me.
So, like back sprite, I guess. You know, we don't usually see the victim again if they die. We usually never see the victims like sprites and stuff because we never meet them, obviously because they're dead. But interesting that she has like a back sprite right here. That man, Terry Falls, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. Wow. He threw my beloved sister into the heroic river 40 feet below.
These 5 years, all I wonder is why? Why? Naze? Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I tell her to wear a scarf.
Okay, so that's true. The call and notes about the call is, I guess, true?
I don't want to hurt her, just ask why. Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear an answer from her mouth, that's all.
So that's why you made a crazy escape like that.
Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are tingling all over, my spidey sense. Tell me, Mr. Falls, where is it?
Huh? Where's what?
Come on now, kitten. The ransom, the $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I don't know.
Huh? You don't know?
No, really, I don't know. It's gone with Dahlia.
With Dahlia?
That day on the bridge, Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone with Dahlia, gone forever. Into Eagle River.
It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute.
You can go back now. We're about ready to go.
Mr. Falls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne?
Never found her, my sweet Dahlia.
They never found her.
Swallowed by river, gone. Dahlia, my teen angel.
Anyway.
Your teen angel? How old was she anyway? Just 14,
yeah. 14? I guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. I think he should go to prison for a different reason now. Anyway.
She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears in the river with a rough worth 2 mil. Man oh man, angels these days.
Falls takes the fall. And gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel, or is she really a debut?
It's time, kitten. Looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now.
You bet. $2 million gem used as ransom for Dahlia, lost to Eagle River 5 years ago.
The trading wheels come up now, Mia. We've got to strike while the iron is hot. That's one of my rules. remember it.
Okay, just making it super obvious that's just Godot. It's just Godot, he's just acting almost basically the same as he always has, except he doesn't have the mask, I guess. And didn't bleach his hair? I don't know.
Now then, let's continue the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Witness, are you feeling better?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best.
You're a brave young lady.
Not this again.
I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is...
What are you talking about?
My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime, that's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer.
Her motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next.
Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive?
Yes, of course. I think, probably.
Ha! You're still acting as tame as a kitten,
Mr. Armando.
Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets.
Is that the advice that Mia always gives?
Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro.
Well, maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. Excuse me, may I speak, Mr. Judge?
Of course. Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like.
I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that's not true.
I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. It looks like this witness is a real professional.
What do you mean?
Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up. Very well then. Let's hear what the witness has to say.
100-watt smile, I guess, very bright smile. Interesting way to phrase it. I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I've never been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago, or kidnapping a poor girl, I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster.
Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile.
You bet! Haha, smile! No. Somehow I have to tie her to this case. We have to prove that maybe she was here, you know? Out of the country though, I don't know, until the year before last. So what country were you living in then? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed.
It was a brutal civil war.
Oh, excuse.
It was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone.
I lost everything. I don't even have any personal identification. No idea, eh? What kind of a sob story is this? What do I do? Should I press it for more details? Sob some more! Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in?
Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case.
I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Falls or Detective Hawthorne.
Yes, I think we established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you just stated to official testimony?
Yes, please, Mr. Judge. I didn't know either the victim or the defendant.
You didn't know either person. Are you certain of that?
Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people.
Well, that can't be helped.
Why is he just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth?
The first time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct?
Yes, it really was a coincidence. Just a coincidence, eh? Probably have to prove something that shows that she may have known the victim or the defendant. Somehow. So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors. Picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing. You don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts. A digger. But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to. Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold yet romantic gloominess. Didn't know you were such a goth. Goth GF. By the way, what's the name of your college? The prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. All that matters is that she is a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent. Thank you. She's really gone too far.
Miss Faye, you're trading on thin ice here.
I hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. No reason for being a police officer. Or perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car. Well, that's...
Unfortunately, Miss Faye, your last statement proves nothing.
Oh really? And why is that?
The witness came to a police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that at that time, an officer showed her this photo. That seems like a rather serious mistake. That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book.
That's not fair. That wicked inmate, I'll never be able to forget that horrible day. A grudge. Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death.
Yes, and that's precisely why he harbors such a deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt.
My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well.
What do you mean by that?
Your client. He forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What did you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right?
Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification.
Why? If I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me.
That's true. He's clearly a bitter man.
Oh, this is bad. Mr. Fall's reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with that last statement? Have it frickin' added, because I think she said something suspicious right there. Your Honor, what the witness just said just now was tremendously important. I'd like to add it to the official testimony.
The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer, and a mentally unbalanced one at that. The testimony only helps to further prove that point.
No, that's not what I...
Enough. Witness, if you would.
My pleasure, Mr. Judge. I guess she doesn't call her Your Honor, just calls him Mr. Judge. Judge-san. Not lucky that you wasn't wearing a scarf? A white scarf?
What do you mean by lucky?
Well, it's February now. Everyone is wearing scarves. If I had accidentally worn a white scarf like he said...
Then you yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. It looks like you pressed too hard this time, kitten.
Mr. Armando.
Keep looking around you, and you're gonna lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to talk.
Are you sure? Because I feel like his testimony is revealing. But first, let me just press this one too. You knew about that incident, but weren't you out of country until a year before last? Well, I saw a report about the escaped convict on the news. They had an in-depth report about his whole history.
So you were still living abroad 5 years ago, is that right?
Yes.
Can't let her get away with these lies! Listen to me, she's neck deep in this whole thing. Somehow you're just gonna have to get her to show the court her true self.
So we have two added statements saying that she didn't know the victim or the defendant, and also, if I was wearing a white scarf, I would have been like a victim as well. But however, how did she know about the white scarf? This is a confidential note. This is confidential police materials written by the victim, and also this scarf is blue, not white. So again, I feel like I've got her, but just like last time, I'm not sure if this is a car situation where if I'm jumping the gun again, because maybe I should show the scarf, maybe show the note. I feel like this is the correct thing to do. Again, if this is a car thing again where I'm not supposed to show it yet until I prove something else, I'm gonna be peeved. Let's see. Witness, I want you to look at this photo you took. It's in grayscale. It's hard to see in the photo, but look at the scarf the victim wore as identification.
You're talking about this scarf right here, eh?
Yes, that's it. The scarf the policewoman was wearing. I've got her now. Just don't mess up. But that's strange. In your testimony, you say the following. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf.
White? Shiro?
This is a scarf you identified as belonging to the victim. But it clearly doesn't look white to me. Oh.
Well, it was foggy that day. It was raining as well. It's not surprising that she mistook it for white.
Sorry, but not this time. The witness just confirmed that this was the victim's scarf.
Yes, but what's the significance? It's true that the scarf doesn't look white, but
there's only one explanation for this mix-up. The reason why the witness thought the scarf was white is she knew about this note. Witness, have you ever seen this note? Note? No, never.
It's top secret evidence. There's no reason that you would have.
I wonder about that. What do you mean? This note shows Mr. Fall's instructions to the victim regarding their meeting. It says, wear a white scarf for identification.
White scarf.
Witness, you knew what this note said. And it's because you knew that you slipped up and mistakenly said white scarf. Wow. Well, Miss Foster? No!
Order. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public.
And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one, the person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person.
Did you say one more person?
That's right, a person that no one would have suspected.
Have you figured it out, Kitten?
Yep. The third person that knew the contents of the note was... well, you, Melissa Foster, but also Dahlia. Because it involves talk to Dahlia? I don't know. Can I say just Melissa? Can I just say her?
Hang on there, kitten.
What is it, Mr. Armando?
Here, I made some special cafe con leche for you. I put in plenty of sugar. Drink it up before it gets cold. Don't be shy.
Why are you doing this?
Your brain needs stimulation. Drink some of this and then think it over again. Listen, keep messing up like that or you're gonna get the judge mad. Miss Faye, don't just stand there casually drinking coffee.
What? Darn it. Yes, I think it's too late. One more person? Okay, maybe I shouldn't choose Melissa, I should choose... I mean, Gumshoe as well, but Gumshoe had, had access to the note. But maybe Dahlia as well? Because it mentioned Dahlia? That person is Dahlia Hawthorne. I mean, yeah, both of them could have worked, I feel like. They're both technically the same person. But that's kind of meta, but at the same time we know this, the game told us, from the flashback case anyway.
Dahlia Hawthorne. I've never heard that name before.
Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. Well, there's her name right there.
Well, what is this? Who is this person? This Dahlia Hawthorne? Miss Faye must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in the crime 5 years ago.
Killed in the crime? You don't mean...
Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls.
Well, you say she was killed, but was she really?
What are you implying?
Of course, people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found.
She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead.
But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster. I believe that's the same age you are. Ah.
Even if you couldn't. Even you couldn't, Miss Faye. You're not saying.
But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. I mean, kind of a stretch, but I mean, we know this. So, it's true, but it's kind of a bit of a stretch if you didn't know that. If you didn't know about Dahlia Hawthorne and how she looks like. Anyway.
Nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. Unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist.
I understand. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm.
Witness, just who are you anyway?
I'm...
I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness.
Yes, I understand.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue this matter this far. You don't mean... Yes. The prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all our witnesses.
What did he say?
Looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go.
No way, but then why?
If you had revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Well, let me introduce you to the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. But, I thought she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well. But, well, as you can see.
Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years?
That was nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to the crime.
Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of the victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder!
Really, Miss Faye? I must say your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost.
How dare you!
Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious. She lost the precious thing, her big sister. Miss Faye must be insane to even suggest that she murder her.
What?
I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Faye, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister?
Well, you see, I thought I was winning, but somehow he's turned it around on me.
I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim.
Huh? That wasn't me. It was this guy. This crazy coffee addict.
I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets.
I am sweating bullets.
You think you're in a tough spot, huh?
Of course, aren't I?
No. You just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you.
Up to me?
The rashes of you, how charming.
This is coming from someone younger than me.
Now then, let's not waste any more time, Miss Faye. What motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne?
I mean... money? Because they were planning to split the $2 million, yet somehow it was lost because it was with Dahlia, it was in her backpack, and we thought she died with the diamond, but if she's alive, that means she gets to keep all the money, so, I mean... maybe she killed her sister to keep her quiet, or something like that. Either way, I guess it's the fact that she gained from that incident 5 years ago. If it's, you know, if it is Dahlia and she did, you know, or at least, you know, all together they plan to like pretend to steal the diamond and everything, or well, they actually stole the diamond. It's just that they pretended about the kidnapping rather. But then somehow she escaped and just took all the money, I guess. You know, I assume. And only our client, Mr. Falls and Valerie knew that. Maybe she's trying to get rid of witnesses, you know, that knew about her little like $2 million secret. She tends to do that, doesn't she? Get rid of people.
What is this? Is this the defense's idea of a joke? If so, I certainly don't get the punchline. Well, Miss Faye, uh-oh. Did I do it wrong?
Oh, that was the rashes of youth. God damn it. The rashes of youth? Who was reporting the such a thing? Ah, damn it. That wasn't the case.
It didn't for 5 years, kid. There must be a good reason for that. And somehow it must involve Valerie Hawthorne.
I got that wrong. Okay. So it's not $2 million. Then what is the motive? I have no idea. Key witness. Do I show profile? Still Melissa Foster? Talk to Dahlia? The whole truth? The truth? You know? The story starts after Terry Falls' escape. So, okay, so maybe I had the right idea, but it's not. You don't present the diamond or the gem or whatever. You present the notes. Involves the whole, you know, kidnapping plot or whatever. I guess. Story starts after Terry Falls' escape. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, "Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out." Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth.
The whole truth?
There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie. Oh yeah, I was wondering about that. Like, talk to Dahlia. I guess her sister knew that she was still alive. Right? That's why Dahlia's name is on there in the first place. The reason I felt she had to kill Valerie. To keep her mouth shut permanently.
A terrific story, Miss Faye. If you like fishing, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Faye. What was this secret that was so important? Where's your evidence? Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all.
Oh yes, I know this secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony.
What testimony?
Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago, we believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters.
Very well. I'll grant your request for further testimony. I know it'll be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf? My little maple leaf.
Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge. Putting on the old charm one more time, huh, Dahlia? But this time will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. Womanly wiles, wow. "5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money, so I decided to change my identity and start a new life."
The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. If we were to believe after all that she murdered her sister, preposterous. Well, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Faye?
Yes, Your Honor?
As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination.
Mr. Edgeworth got the jump on me again.
If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up. We still got that info. That ace up our sleeve.
What info? What info? What info?
Come on, kid. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged.
That's right. It was a fake kidnapping. Terry Falls told us that in the lobby.
I do anything she says, anything Dahlia says.
What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by,
me and Dahlia, Valerie too.
Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret. How do we draw that out of her? I didn't see a contradiction in her testimony just now. Am I allowed to press? He did say to be gentle, but I can't afford to be gentle if I want to, find new information. Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship? Yes, as a tutor. You were tutoring him, Mr. Falls? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me. That makes sense. 5 years ago, she was only 14.
He probably came up with the kidnapping plan during that time. The Hawthorns are in the jewelry trade and are quite wealthy, you see. Quite the clever fellow, that Mr. Falls.
Did you hear him right? You just called Mr. Falls a clever fellow. Are you gonna be like a kidnapper too, Judge? I heard the diamonds value in the neighborhood of $2 million. Neighbor, is that? I don't know, I guess well, in Canada we spell it different, there's a U. Anyway.
$2 million?
It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk.
A $2 million pint of milk. I don't know what to think about that. The defendant demanded that his sister, Valerie, make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual.
By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth, why do you think he wanted to make the exchange up there on the mountain? If he ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape.
There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety.
What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is.
Yeah, right. What's all your plan?
Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain and... That was a dangerous thing to do considering you were being held hostage. Yes, but actually, that saved my life.
What do you mean?
You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow, I just knew he was gonna use it. I knew he was gonna use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment. Well, when Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me. I was dazed. I turned to try and run away, but Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second, and he gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin.
Bloodthirsty grin, oh.
And in the next instant...
I advise the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift.
I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I had been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. The crumbling bridge, nowhere to run. Then just one little shove from behind, that was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. And that's why you hid your identity. Yes, I only told my sister.
Valerie Hawthorne, eh?
Yes, she's the only one who knew about me.
Meanwhile, legally, this witness has been deceased for 5 years.
I didn't ever want something like that to happen to me ever again. And that new identity was Melissa Foster, right? Yes, my sister helped me get the official paperwork taken care of. Well, that makes sense. Without an insider's help, doing all of the paperwork would have been impossible. She was the only person left in the world I could count on. And you think I killed her? There's no way I could.
It's the moment of truth for this witness too. Once the truth about this staged kidnapping comes out, everyone in the court will know how much of a Jezebel she really is.
I just gotta prove that kidnapping was a hoax.
How do I prove that, though?
As I ran past, he and I looked at him, interested. Which way did she run, though? I don't know, I'm not sure. Did she run towards her sister, or towards the other side? I turned to try to run away. I mean, initially she was facing the, she was facing Valerie, right? She was facing this way. So when she says she turned, did she, like, turn that way? If that's the case, that makes no sense, right? Again. No? I won't show the photo because it says, like, the bridge hasn't changed for 5 years. So it's broken. Why did she turn and try to run away? But I guess that's not it, either. Well. Guilty! How many game overs is this? I think this is the most game overs I've gotten. This particular case. Because of Dahlia. Gosh darn it. Dahlia. Okay, well here's another thing. I'm gonna try the same ideas again. Diamond. Where's the diamond? If you made the exchange, then where's the diamond now? Darn it. Here's another thing. If you turn around and ran away, why did you do that? That makes no sense. Okay, good. Is this time? Yeah, okay, it's supposed to show the map, not the photo. Even though it says right here, the bridge hasn't been changed for 5 years, I assume that would prove that in relation to this evidence, I don't know, it just feels like too many evidence, like too many pieces of evidence are too closely related to each other, that makes it confusing. I wish it was like, you know, both of these answers would have been correct. I don't know. Anyway, you say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said that's hard to believe. I should have said that's impossible. Impossible? I asked that the court recall the condition of Dusky Bridge, now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. I wish Doesn't this evidence work too? Why doesn't that work? It says right here, as it unchanged for 5 years. As it unchanged for 5 years. Hasn't changed within these 5 years. Like exactly the same, and yet it doesn't work. I don't. Anyway, it's just me being mad because I love this game, so I wish it was more well designed in that aspect, Just little small parts where it was like a bit too vague. That I don't know. Anyway, if someone had pushed you from behind as you have claimed, instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. A most certain death. I guess I didn't think about that though. I didn't think about the bedrock. I thought in general, why would she turn around and run? If she ran, there's a big hole, right? So I imagine she'd just be lying about that. Anyway, do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. No.
Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. You're right. If the events occurred just as the witnesses testified, the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what was the meaning of this?
You see,
Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back of the end of the bridge.
What? What do you mean?
After being shot in the arm, it's possible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct?
Now that you mention it, I do remember now, when I fell off the bridge. My skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. You can't be serious. Maji!
Order in the court. It seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion.
Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault.
What?
I believe the reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible.
Ridiculous. Bakana. What's so impossible about it?
Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. Because look at this suspension bridge ropes. I mean, unless there's been a really big push, I guess, that broke the ropes or something. Otherwise, it's kind of implausible to have pushed her off the side of the bridge. Your Honor, all the answers are right here in this photo. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. No!
But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over.
So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls has been shot in the right arm.
Ah.
And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range.
Ugh.
So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge, that is clearly impossible.
Gah! Order! What's the meaning of this?
Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally.
What? What is this?
Wow, I heard like a tiger noise.
Indeed. What do you mean by such such a ridiculous remark?
Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping in the raging river like that would have been suicide. Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness has a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river.
Oh, then what was it? What was so important that she'd want to jump into the river?
The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping in the rapids of the Eagle River for $2 million. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item the Valerie brought up the mountain with her, the $2 million diamond.
No, it can't be.
Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million, she was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. That's pretty hardcore for like a 14-year-old.
Why, that's simply ridiculous. Ridiculous! Order. Your Honor, 5 years ago the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan?
This woman is a demon. And there is one more person to help make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne.
You mean the victim was involved with the kidnapping plot as well? But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping?
Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder.
What do you mean by that?
On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia. And then she told her what she was planning to do.
Planning to do? She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note.
That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatch your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne.
Who is that, bluffing at a time like this?
Forgive me, it's just hilarious.
With this? Is that you?
You amuse me, woman. Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14, I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister. And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that.
Well, Miss Fey.
I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something? How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? That's where I was stuck at before. I don't even have a decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder.
Well, it seems that we've come to an end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise serious suspicions. However, I'm forced to reject the assertions made by the defense.
Of course you are. This is it? Is it really over? That girl has made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it.
Without evidence, the trial is over? Who decided that?
Mr. Armando.
Come on now, kid. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony.
Testimony?
On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fall's stolen car and then went to meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right?
Yes, that's right.
In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder.
But since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who is the one person who can testify that demon woman's crime?
It will be herself. No, probably not. She will not say anything. The only Hawthorne, the other Hawthorne anyway, is dead. So the only other person will be our own client. He was the only one there, right? He was the one that met with the person at the bridge.
Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness.
A new witness?
Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls.
The defendant.
There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all, and that person is Terry Falls.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this?
Why not? The prosecution has no objection.
Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand.
Oh, this is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left.
He'll tell the truth?
Probably not. He probably won't tell the truth.
Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it, no way. Dahlia died 5 years ago, Valerie betrayed me.
Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive, and you were used for $2 million.
That's not true. Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want to answer to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne or was it Dahlia Hawthorne? Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago she promised never ever betray each other.
Terry.
Dahlia, it's true. You are alive.
You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad.
Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you.
I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there's one thing I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry.
Dahlia. We'll allow Mr. Falls to testify once and once only. Well then, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness? I'm sorry, I apologize. Water! Please! Water! Can't talk. Need water. Oh well, I guess I'll have my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitterer than hell itself. Nom nom nom. Eating the ball. Steel ball. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on bridge. I watched my car from bridge. I never put nobody in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked, then she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia.
Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you?
That's enough, Miss Faye. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Well then, Miss Fame, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Is this how you wanted to end, Mr. Falls? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence?
There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten. I think. You think?
You're not confident about this? Godot? According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you?
It was raining, already dark too.
You waited on the bridge for 30 minutes. Mr. Falls?
Eagle Mountain, that spot, strong memories.
Why did he just clam up? Could it be he's hiding something here? You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct?
Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it.
Waiting for 5 years.
I'm sure he is. Zebra Boy waited 5 years to ask a single question. To find out why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been like a blink of an eye.
You were watching the car.
That bridge, other side is broken. Nobody could come from there. So I was watching car.
What else were you expecting him to do? I suppose that's the obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. I'm getting that feeling. A contradiction?
I wonder what's on the other side of the broken bridge anyway. No one lives up there. There's a small shrine up on the mountain, but that's it.
A small shrine, eh?
Anyway, nobody came. No car, nothing.
Melissa, or Dahlia, did mention like a channeling place? Or temple or something like that? A dojo maybe? You know, spirit channeling or something? Maybe? On the shrine? Mr. Falls, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne?
I never lie, it's the truth. It was Valerie. I remember her face.
Wait a minute. If you remember her face, then why did you make her wear a scarf as identification?
Sorry, I told a little lie. But the woman I met, she was different from the woman standing here now. She was different. It was Valerie.
Did I press this before yet? I don't know. You're watching the car. The side is broken, nobody comes from her, so I was watching the car. Okay. Watching the car? It's weird. Anyway, she was in front of me. What did you talk to her about anyway? Mr. Falls.
Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago. She said someone needed to take the blame for it. That was all I could think to do. She said that. That's why she lied, got me the death penalty.
And were you satisfied with the answer, witness?
Dahlia died. It was my fault. But I don't really remember. Maybe I did. Maybe I did push her in. It don't matter no more. Either way, my Dahlia, my sweet tiny angel, dead.
But you just saw that she isn't dead.
After Valerie talked to me on bridge, nothing left to live for.
How can you be so sure? It was raining at the time, and sunset that day was at 5 o'clock. It would have already been pretty dark on that mountain at 4:30. Please, Mr. Falls, this is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something you didn't do.
That woman, it wasn't Dahlia.
Stop right there. What more needs to be said? Even if it means the death penalty, even if it means taking the blame for murder, you'll still do whatever is necessary to protect her, won't you, Mr. Falls?
I know it's obvious, but he's clearly lying. He's been cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. He'll probably go to his grave still believing in her.
Mr. Falls,
even if you can show he's lying, the poor guy will still be cursed. You'll still have to point out the contradiction anyway. That's the curse of being a defense lawyer, I guess.
I watched my car from the ridge. I never put nobody in the car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. That's kind of weird considering... Well, she's dead. But also, if she was looking at the car, then why did she come out from this side? You know, why she come from this side? Isn't she supposed to come from the car side, not this side? That's kind of weird. I don't know if that's a contradiction, but... Watching the car. Watching the car. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I feel like... Well, is it this? Again, like, if the bridge is broken from... Like, if he's facing this way, he's looking at the car, you'd only imagine, like, a person coming this way would be over here, right? And he would be looking this way. He wouldn't be looking that way, and why would the person be, like, looking this way? Unless they somehow, I don't know, shuffled, you know, past each other for some reason so she can stand here. I don't know why she would do that. So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're sure, huh? Well then I'm sure too, Mr. Falls. I'm sure that you're lying.
What?
Well,
I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Faye.
You wanna know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first will be the one at the end of the bridge, right?
But that's the victim at the end of the bridge.
Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Falls, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Okay. Blah. Mr. Falls, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth.
I got there around 4 o'clock, it's true. I had somewhere to go, a special place.
Did you go to this special place before you went to the bridge?
Yeah, it's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love.
A memento?
5 years ago, I hid it under a base of the tree there. It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get.
It's the necklace again.
This little bottle and the necklace is your memento? It's quite charming, but it looks empty.
Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock. But he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car.
No. Indeed, there only wasn't enough time for it.
I've still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it. Huh? Mr. Falls?
That's enough. Please.
Witness?
I promised her 5 years ago, if it ever happens that we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to drink bottle.
No, stop the trial. Your Honor, we need a recess.
I was stupid, couldn't keep promise, so I did it. I drank this.
No, we're so close. Just a little more. I was gonna prove your innocence.
No, don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again.
Mr. Falls.
Mr. Armando. Thanks for the coffee.
Mr. Falls! Well, I guess that time the necklace did have poison in it. Huh. And so my first trial ended, suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. Edgeworth did mention that, you know, his first trial, whatever, was like a loss as well, so I guess everyone loses. I guess that's the idea. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul, I never thought it'd never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. But one person, the true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne, she left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. Smile.
Unforgivable. That witch. Mr. Armando, we were so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten.
It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself.
Don't cry, kitten. You're gonna make my coffee all salty.
I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this.
Mia.
There you go, his theme song.
Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
You just crushed the... Why did you... Anyway. Does that hurt? Mr. Armando. No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. Back to being Phoenix. 1 year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. Yeah, it's the first tutorial case you get in the third game in the series. And I guess Dahlia did her justice. You know, she did like get sentenced, right, to prison, or only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect, angelic smile on her face. It was finally all over. At least, that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that's made me remember all of this. It's not over yet. There's one more episode. Bridge to the Turnabout.